In a quiet coastal village where the sea whispers secrets to the shore lived Old Man Lin. His workshop, a dusty treasure trove, was filled with kites. Not just any kites, but breathtaking sculptures of dragons, phoenixes, and faces so real you'd swear they were about to speak. Yet for all their beauty, none of them had ever tasted the sky. They were wonders born without wings, a mystery to the handful of villagers who knew of them. One summer, the city sent one of its own, a boy named Leo, all buzzing energy and impatience. He stumbled upon Lin's workshop, his eyes wide at the sight of the kites hanging like sleeping constellations. "Wow, can we fly one? Let's fly the dragon." "Come on, the wind is perfect," he'd say every day, bouncing on the balls of his feet. Old Man Lin would just shake his head with a sad, gentle smile, his hands never ceasing their slow, deliberate work on a new creation. "Patience, little sparrow," he would murmur, his voice as soft as the rustle of bamboo strips. "Some things are not meant to rush." This drove Leo crazy. Patience was a word from a foreign language. To him, a kite that couldn't fly was like a joke without a punchline. Pointless. He saw the old man's slowness not as care, but as a flaw. "He's just too old," Leo muttered to himself one afternoon, watching Lin painstakingly paint a single feather on a bird-shaped kite. "He doesn't know how things work now." Convinced he could fix the problem, Leo decided to show the old man how it was done. He gathered his own materials: neon plastic sheeting, super strong synthetic string, and lightweight carbon fiber rods. He worked quickly, slapping the pieces together with industrial tape. His kite was a garish clash of colors, a modern monstrosity next to Lin's delicate art. But it was designed for one thing: to fly. He took his creation to the beach. The plastic crackled loudly, obnoxiously, as he unfurled it. With a running start, he let it go. The kite shot up into the sky like a rocket, a noisy, ugly scar against the serene blue. "See? See, Old Man Lin?" Leo shouted, triumphant, running back to the workshop. "It flies! Mine flies! It's easy! You just need the right stuff!" Old Man Lin walked out of his workshop and looked up at the screeching plastic thing in the sky. He didn't look impressed. He didn't even look angry. He just looked weary. He turned and gestured for Leo to follow him back inside. The workshop was quiet. The only sound, the distant sigh of the waves. Lin walked over to a kite shaped like a graceful crane, its paper wings adorned with tiny hand-painted blossoms. He touched it gently, his gnarled fingers tracing the delicate frame. "This one," he began, his voice thick with emotion, "is my wife. She loved the plum blossoms in our garden. I made this the year she left me. Each petal is a day I miss her laughter." He moved to another kite, a fierce, protective-looking dragon with eyes like polished jade. "This is my older brother. He was a fisherman, strong and fearless like the dragons in the old stories. We lost him to a storm when I was just a boy." One by one, he moved through the silent crowd of kites, his voice a low, steady current of remembrance. A small, simple swallow for his childhood friend. A magnificent phoenix for his mother, who believed in rising from any sorrow. Each kite was a headstone, a monument, a love letter to a life that had passed. The workshop wasn't a factory. It was a mausoleum of memories. "You see, little sparrow," Lin said, finally turning to the stunned, silent boy. "You think my kites are failures because they do not fly. But they were never meant for the wind. They were meant to hold onto the people I love. They fly right here," he said, tapping his heart. "They fly in my memory, where they can never be lost to the storm." Leo stared at the kites, truly seeing them for the first time. They weren't just objects anymore. They were souls. The dragon's fierce glare was no longer just paint. It was the echo of a brave fisherman. The crane's blossoms weren't just decoration. They were the fragrance of a lost love. His own loud plastic kite suddenly felt hollow and meaningless. It could touch the clouds, but it couldn't touch a single heart. Shame and a profound sense of understanding washed over him. He had been so quick to judge, so eager for a simple functional result, that he had missed the entire point. He looked at Old Man Lin, at the deep lines of sorrow and love etched into his face, and saw not a failed craftsman, but a guardian of priceless treasures. From that day on, Leo stopped asking to fly the kites. Instead, he would sit quietly in the workshop, watching Lin work. He'd fetch him tea, sweep the floor, and sometimes Lin would let him sand a piece of bamboo or hold a frame steady. Leo learned to listen to the silence and to appreciate the slow, sacred act of creating something, not for purpose, but for remembrance. Years later, after Old Man Lin had passed on, the villagers, led by a now-grown Leo, turned the workshop into a small museum. They called it the Kite Maker's Soul. Visitors would come from all over, not to see kites that could fly, but to witness a lifetime of love, tethered to earth by bamboo and paper. And Leo would tell them the story of how a loud, impatient boy learned from a quiet, sorrowful man, that the most beautiful things in life aren't always the ones that soar the highest, but the ones that keep us grounded in what truly matters. Thank you so much for joining me on this story today. If it touched your heart, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more tales that explore the quieter corners of the human spirit. Until next time, take care.